Kindly turn on your video and turn off your mic unless you're asked to. And without, I will straight away go to Dr. Ganga Lakshmi Patnaik ma'am to say a few words and to say recite her poem before asking. So Ganga Lakshmi ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, coordinator sir, Prasanna Kkumar. Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. G.L. Patnaik from Bangalore. Welcome you all to this evening poetry meet. I feel exceedingly proud to recite a poem. The title of my poem is Shilhat. The title of the poem is Shilhat. Now I recite my poem. I realize you a silhouette of ocean. I swim to the lips of the horizon. I realize you a silhouette of ocean. I swim to the lips of the horizon. I feel you the silhouette of the sky. To your depth I will fly. I feel you the silhouette of the sky. To your depth I will fly. I am describing the image that I have used here. Shilhat. The image Shilhat. Shilhat is the image of a person, animal, object, or scene represented as a solid shape of a single color, usually black. Shilhat is the image of a person, animal, object, or scene represented as a solid shape of a single color, usually black. An example of Shilhat is a drawing consisting of the outline of something, especially a human profile filled in with a solid color. An example of Shilhat is a drawing consisting of the outline of something, especially a human profile filled in with a solid color. Now the presentation of my first poem, Shilhat, is over. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving us a beautiful outline of the poem and sweetheart. And I would ask any, the panel over here, if you would if anyone would like to volunteer to give a review, or I just go ahead with randomly with any poet. You could turn on your mic or something like that, and you could express. Anybody would like to volunteer to give a review, or I just okay, then I would go with yes, my lovely Lopamudra Mishra ma'am. Before me asking Lopamudra Mishra ma'am, I would like to introduce her as poets. She's a wonderful writer from Bhubaneswar. She's a professor of English, professor of English, and I had got the opportunity of attending. I got the invitation where she conceived a program which is called Monsoon Musing, which itself is a very poetic event, that was eclectic mix of cultural things and something like dancing, the cultural dance, music. It went on along 4 or 5 hours, and that was something so mesmerizing. In fact, the way she took along the event, and I'm so glad that I was also the part of that wonderful event, and I am very much thankful to the Lopamudra Mishra ma'am for considering me worthy of, uh, making my
Prasanna.
presence. And this is the opportunity. I think, it's a personal interaction, so it is informal kind of thing. So, Lopamudra ma'am, thank you once again, and I wish I could attend more of your this creative outings. And now I would request you to say a few words about this. Poetry and poetics, and you could give your review on feedback on Ganga Lakshmi Patnaik ma'am's poem.
Okay,
Thanks. Over
thank
to you, ma'am.
well, hearty good evening to all of you. First, let me thank you, Kumar Prasanna ji, for at least keeping a faith on me and speaking so high of me, actually. Let me rectify a little bit of my bio. I'm not a professor. I was once upon a time a teacher. I was managing a school. Then, due course of time, I have shifted my profession to some other branch. Now, it's very true. I used to organize shows, and we combined poetry and music together, and we have done some conglomerate poetry and music because both do have an indivisible bond, and I think people enjoy because only poetry, we whatever we write, that's what the singer used to express. So poetry is a vibration, and the singing is something we express it verbally. And due to today's session, thank you, Pain Wonder International, for creating such a beautiful opportunity for all the esteemed poets to express their poems. And Gajalakshmi Patnaik ma'am, your poem is so brilliant, and you have expressed the theme in a very eloquent manner. And it's very specifically you have given expressed why you have written this and mentioned it to clarifying all the esteemed poets about why you have written the poem, what the poem signifies all about. And I think Kumar Prashannaji, please give me a time so that I could able to adjust myself with the forum because I'm a newcomer, as you know, and to make all this thing, I have to, first of all, I would love to be with you to review more poems in next session. But for Gajalakshmi, I had really I got to adjust my. Please excuse me for this time because I couldn't able to give my words properly to her. And in now, henceforward, I'll be giving it. I'll be coordinating with you. It will be my pleasure.
No, it is something like it is impromptu. I mean, it is the
why?
the beauty of history.
You know what thing? What I like all about is the way we exchange samosa that day. It is something with the bond we have created, and that the bond is itself something what the poetry is all about. It's same thing. The exchange of samosa virtually means a lot to all of us because that's how the bond has created. And I have really started following Kumar Prasannaji from then onwards.
So those were the moments. In fact, I mean, those were the cherishing moments which ever, even the painted moments, the tiny moments,
So that's the pleasure. That's the what we poets search of because we seek pleasure from everything. We seek beauty. That's what, and we can capitalize all the beauty and we pen it in our expression. That's
Exactly.
what all poetry is all about. So
Right.
the moment we share together, the bond we started and seeing all the souls we are meeting together, and as if I'm sitting next to you and we're talking, and that's how.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this,
Thank you so
beautiful inspire and vibration. And now I would go to Prasanna Bhatt, sir. I don't not know much about his bio, but he writes so wonderfully. Prasanna Bhatt, sir. Prasanna Bhatt, you are very much on the show. Kindly turn on your mic and video. Prasanna Bhatt, sir. Prasanna Bhatt. Prasanna Bhatt, sir. Prasanna, yeah, yeah, we could see you. Just you could, You can take on your.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you listen?
Yes. Yes. Sir.
Sure.
Yes, yes.
Okay. It is my part, my turn.
Exactly, sir. It is not your turn. You are asked to give your introduce yourself, and you could recite your poem. You could say a few words about poetry.
Thanks, Kumarji. Sweet evening to all the stars in the poetry of the world. Really, I'm 3 months old in poetry world. I know nothing about poetry, but someone inspired who is present here with Gita man. Gita ma'am inspired me to join with Kumarji, and Kumarji is such a person who will inspire, and you will be mesmerized with your word, and you will be encouraged to sing your song. So I came here. Really, I know nothing about poetry, but one thing I like to know: poetry is nothing but a dream, a feeling, emotion germinated in the heart of the poetry, in the heart, and communicate the feelings to others. That is poetry. Poetry is a part of language. Without poetry, language is fruitless and meaningless. So now I am principal in one college as well as a lecturer in English. So
So,
I'm thankful to Ashwin Gangadhar Shah. He also encouraged me to join in this platform where sun and moon do not set. Am I wrong, Kumarji? This is the only platform where sun and moon never set.
exactly, sir. Exactly.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, may I ask Gita ma'am, is it 6 p.m.? No. Yeah, Gita ma'am is in the day, but we are in the, so to say, we are in the evening. So this is the only platform where sun and moon never sets.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
We are from the world. Really, this is a colorful evening, enhances the beauty with the presence of dazzling and sparkling stars in the poetry of the world, and honored the enriched
Right, sir.
this evening with a revered full moon, respected Kkumar Shah, and bright sun, esteemed Gangadhar Shah. So I'm fortunate enough to have a chance to meet the bright stars and the full moon and the dazzling star in this colorful evening. So I'm fortunate enough. Many, many thanks to the encouragers, to the to say the group, GPWI group, 10 Wonders International Group, and Gangadhar Shah, who, so to say, annihilated and encouraged me, inspired me to attend. Nothing will happen. You may be 3 months old poet, or you may be 1 month old poet. Never think that. Come and join. And
Right,
thanks
sir.
to
Right.
Gita ma'am, who
Right.
inspired me a lot.
Yes. Now you could recite your poem, sir. Now you could recite your poem, and
Yeah.
Gita ma'am would definitely give you a review of it.
Okay,
From
I'm
your
going to recite my poem.
yeah.
I'm going to recite my first poem. Really, this poem is about the society which is going to be polluted day by day. And the theme is once upon a time. Once upon a time, a snake swallowed a frog with each. Now, The snake becomes feeble and lethargic, unable to raise its head. As time changes, frog moves forward to eat the snake, as frog is declared as ruler. Snake endures, free in fears. Its venom is not in action, as fangs get extracted by the charmer as per law and order. Now the snake is venomless and honest. Oh, people, overall, be careful. Frog is going to swallow snake. Many years ago, wisdom and loyalty ruled the country. Peace, honesty, and empathy were their souls. It becomes slower and slower, day by day, due to fear and terror. The sure, peace, and genius are in a lone house. Selfish and treachery are now ruling the countries. Cruelty, guilty, and criminality are their source. They act as they will, as they are the rulers. Oh man, be careful. Oh world, be careful. Frog is going to swallow snake. Thanks.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow,
All the
beautifully
words.
presented, sir. Beautifully presented.
Okay.
Yeah, wonderfully presented. Now I would request Dusmanta Chaudhary, sir, if you are there listening to Prasanna, but sir, kindly
Yeah.
give your feedback.
Tell me, sure.
No, you could turn on your turn off
Good
your
evening to
mic.
everybody.
Yes.
Hello.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
So I am much glad to join with you. Do after a tedious work the full day. Still, Sir's verse could not be properly audible to me.
Yeah.
So I cannot give a review on each poem. But some words that I listened from his verse, that he has a great love for the nature and natural objects. And through that, he personified the frog here. Just how much I listened from his statements, and more than that, I cannot say.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you. Thank you. I'll come back to you. And now I would move to Geeta Mohati, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you so much, dear Prasanna. Myself, Geeta.
And without saying, it goes now. You could just straight away go to Prasanna Bhatt sir's poem and give your feedback.
It was a wonderful poem. What I felt, nobody is weaker, nobody is stronger. Usually, the empowerment happens because of power, position, and the wealth or other things, what we think we have and someone doesn't. And that's the way we just try to rule on others. But it is not the power or the position or the strength you have. It is actually your virtues, your values that ultimately wins over. So that's what he just tried. Even the frog, it took a very beautiful metaphor of frog, the prey and predator relationship. The predator became finally like a prey because he couldn't swallow. I mean, that was just a crude metaphor. It sounds like that, but exactly the theme, the subtle feeling about it is how whom we think so insignificant can be so empowering with their virtues and the values and with their truth. So that was what he portrayed. All over the whatever is happening, the righteousness always wins over. That's what he was trying to.
Exactly. That's the way. I mean,
Hope I
Thank
could
you.
represent.
Yes, exactly. There's Prasanna, but sir, hope you got a nice feedback from Geeta Mohati ma'am and Dushmanta Chaudhary sir, and that was indeed you presented it so well. And now I would go with go to Mirza Siptan Beg sir. I mean, we are honored to have you on the show, sir. Last time we couldn't have this much of interaction. We couldn't know about you. Now the mic is yours. You could say something about poetry. You could say something about yourself, the journey, and everything. You could recite your poem as well. Over to you,
Well,
sir.
thank you very much, Mr. Prasanna Kumar, for again inviting me here. It is nice meeting you all. All are the luminaries in one way or the other. And the best thing here that most of the luminaries are from diverse background, literary, science, and other subjects. So it is good to meet you all. Now I can say that my name is Mirza Siptan Beg and I am from Lucknow. And I am associate professor in the Department of English at a college associated with University of Lucknow. Though I am not a poet, but I try. Now I can say poetry is an oasis in this desert. It gives a relief in our parched, paced, and packed life. The poems are not just the experiences and realization of life. The poet rather moves towards aesthetic celebration, not just physical, but spiritual too. The poet is an ardent artist of words and phrases. The poet has a sensitive heart to feel all arrivals and departures of dreams and wishes. And it is generally said that poem is like an engine and poet is like an engineer. And I think Mr. Prasanna Kumar himself is an engineer, so he knows it well. And whenever an engine or a machinery gets a snag or develops a snags, that it is the engineer who overhauls it and differentiate all its parts and again integrates them all, and it functions well again and set them right. Similarly, a poet uses his, you can say, tool, for example, semantics, rhyme, rhythm, words, or you can say meters and figures of speech, and embeds them in a very good way and give you a organic piece of words, that I can say. And now I am going to recite a poem that I recently wrote, True Happiness. Mr. Prasanna Kumar, if you allows me, then I would recite it.
Yes, yes, sir. Very much. Floor
An
is
anecdote,
yours.
yeah, my daughter told me an anecdote about a billionaire who belonged to Nigeria. It is based on his real story, and now I am going to recite it before you.
Right, sir. Right.
It is nice to recite it before you all. A friend of mine to attain happiness. A friend of mine to attain happiness, amassed wealth, condoning wellness, swam in pool of luxury, sense weariness, saw swans of joy, bereft of righteousness. Next stanza, built majestic mansion, feeling tingle in bone. In his blue sky of earth, stars of pelf shone, still searching their joy with inquisitive tone. On wings of fame, soared above, but to mourn. Next stanza is, happiness was still a far-fetched thing, kept heaping valuables with horse zing, felt the luster temporary, wished for a swing, to attain bliss with glory perpetual to sing. Next stanza, son of altruism, shed rays on him for charity, bought wheelchairs for disabled with gaiety, getting in children's faces bore a smile of eternity. Eureka, screamed to find true happiness with satiety. Next stanza is the last one. True happiness is within, it is nowhere. Fly negative prose, positive notes here. Whirligig of expectations are not to cheer. Perfume of altruism with a smile is to smear. Thank you, and thank you very much.
That's indeed poesy. Poesy. I mean, the meter and the scale was very much intact. So, now, who would I call?
I want to say one great thing about Dr. Geeta Mohanty. She is a socialite, a humanitarian apart from being a professor and scientist, and she helps out to the poor children at her blind school at her hometown. And I am too influenced by this work of her. And similarly, in Nigeria, there was a, you can say, businessman who wanted to attain peace and especially true happiness. And he amassed so much wealth, but he was not happy with that. After some time, he, you can say, went for, in order to have some valuables and purchased bungalows and many other things, but he could not satisfy or cater his taste of true happiness. After that he went to different places in the world in order to get it, but he didn't get it. And anyhow, he met some people who told him that you should go to poor people, especially the disabled, and give them wheelchairs. And he purchased 1,000 wheelchairs and went to an orphan disabled home and gave it to them. And when he was returning, after handing it over to the children, when he was returning from there, one of the boys who was disabled held his leg forcefully. And he told, "What are you doing, Mr. Boy?" My name is Satish, and I am doing it because I want to recognize your this leg. And when in heaven, when I meet you there, then I will, by this leg, I will recognize you there. This is the story behind this poem. Thank you, and thank you very much. I took much precious time of you people.
That's the way
Prasanna ji,
he-
will I say something about?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please.
Actually, by listening your poem, sir, I feel like going through Robin Sharma's book, and it's really the man attaining his salvation from the way he started his journey to seek for happiness. And happiness is what we search outside, and we don't get by accumulating a lot of wealth and searching here and there. It's all within yourself and finding the solitude where we search what Buddha said. Buddham saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami. That means we have to seek up solitude from ourselves. That's our inner peace. So what the poem of your 4 stanzas, you have mentioned attaining happiness by giving a lot of, you have beautified the word happiness to 4 stanzas, and you have mentioned and categorized to different segments. But the gist of the poem is, if you seek happiness outside, it's not the way you are going to get it. But if you want happiness, what's real happiness is all about, that is the within you, and you have to seek within you for that. And for that, you have to seek beauty in every tangible and intangible things. Am I right, Kumar?
Exactly, the spiritual
from you, ma'am. I am highly thankful to you for this wonderful feedback.
Spiritual foraging, in fact, I would put it as spiritual foraging. And yes, Hiram ma'am is there. Hiram ma'am is very much with us, and I would go to Hiram ma'am and ask her to turn on her mic and say a few words about Mirza sir and Lopamudra ma'am as well. Hiram ma'am, you could turn on your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
First of all, before I start my poem, I would like to say a few words on happiness. Just today, I wrote a quotation for Haven International on the whole way which happiness can be perceived. And I wrote the following quotation, which I would like to say here. The quotation on happiness goes like this. Don't run after the beautiful butterfly. Instead, take care of your own garden. See that there is manure in the soil. De-weed it regularly and grow some awesome, colorful flowers and water them daily. The butterfly will come. So that's a quotation which I wrote. I hope you can get the meaning of it.
Right,
and first, I'll introduce myself. and then I'll recite my poem on kindness. First of all, let me introduce myself.
Sure,
My
ma'am, sure.
name is Ms. Hira Nawaz. I'm from Bengaluru, India. By profession, I'm a teacher, writer, and poetess. I love teaching. It is a passion for me. But equally, I'm in love with writing and poetry, and I've been writing for quite some time now. I would like to thank Kkumar Prasanna for inviting me for this session, and I hope my poem has some impact on you listeners. It is about kindness, and I will recite it now.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
One of the most beautiful qualities imbued with humanism is the quality of being kind. For this shows us one's innate greatness and the magnanimousness of one's heart, soul, and mind. It is a characteristic that is greater than physical beauty or competing in intellectual theses in time. For an overflowing heart of kindness wins hands down with no misplaced reason or rhyme. Kind people show great sensitivity, empathy, and warmth to their fellow human beings and the indigent soul. It is this one trait that separates the wicked like Hitler and Mussolini from those who are nice and whole. Kind people give cash, kind, and their time to charity to the underprivileged children, women, and men. Beauty queens and actresses have shown compassion, which includes our very own Aishwarya Rai and Sushmita Sen. But the greatest proponent of kindness is the late Mother Teresa, who was a true adherent to the God above, who led by example, showing her compassion to the dying and destitute with her untainted, undying love. She believes in Jesus Christ, who had said, "As you did it to the least of these brethren, you did it to me," opening up to charity, missionaries of charity, the world of kindness, which is bigger and deeper than the sea. And that is truly the sense of true, unhypocritical religion. For hands that help are better than lips that pray, proving without a doubt that kindness magnetically draws us closer to God. For where there's a will, there's a burgeoning highway. Thank you.
Exactly, ma'am. Where there is a will, there is certainly a highway, and you certainly, I mean, portrayed the characteristics of kindness and the people, and so beautifully
Thank you so much.
expressed. And Mirza sir, would you like to say a few words about the
Yeah,
poem that
certainly.
has?
I was a little bit confused whether I am hearing here William Shakespeare's Mercy as a speech given by Portia in the novel Julius Caesar, or it is, sorry, Merchant of Venice, or it is by Hira Nawaz. Certainly it is a Hira from her, and a nice piece of verse on kindness. It is one of the best traits of humanity, and it puts the human beings above everything. And I think it is one of the traits that shines always bright. And the kindness, certainly it is a trait that is shown to others. And she gives some examples of like Mother Teresa, and she was an apostle of kindness, and whatever she did in Calcutta, especially to underprivileged children, and especially the lepers and also the people whoever come in contact with her. And suddenly and of them, Mother Teresa was certainly milk of humanity, and the poet too seems to be filled with milk of humanity, overflowed with the milk of humanity. Very nice piece of verse from Hira Nawaz. Certainly it is a Hira from her.
Exactly, sir.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. That's a wonderful review. In fact, that is a kind of elevating, this which I mean, you related with this experience, this thing, and everyone, and that's the experience that talks about. But now I would go to my lovely Geeta Mohanty ma'am.
Can I quote 4 lines of William Shakespeare here?
Sir, I'll come back to you. Now I would go to Geeta Mohanty ma'am and I'll ask her to recite her poem. And Geeta Mohanty ma'am, present your lovely spiritual, romantic, or whatever you feel like. But I know you're poem spiritual.
Thank you so much for talking so high about me. Thank you, Prasanna. I would like to thank Pramod Gangadharan ji, the founder of Pen Wonders International. I would like to thank all the panel members and the poets here. It's really amazing to hear each one of you. Brilliant poetry going on, and I loved all these recitations, whatever happening. I would like to, I'm not that good in romantic composition. So as usual, my traditional thing about philosophy again. This is a composition usually about an invocation, an invitation to the Supreme Lord to come down and live like us here in this world and show us being drowned in everything, being drowned in emotions and everything, still how to remain unattached, how to be detached from emotions. So that is the theme of the composition. And let me recite. The title of my composition is Sometimes You Come Down. Sometimes you must come down. Live here, drowning in everything, but without touching. Love, hate, relations, and emotions are like persons. Literally, they incarnate here now and then, every moment, some form or other they sustain, and willingly or unwillingly, I get entangled with them. Hugged by love, say you are not attached. Repelled by hate, say you are not bothered with that. Nagged with emotions, tell you don't feel that. Driven by sentiments, is imperfectly perfect or what? Tell me how to love, how to handle that sentiment, how to feeling the attachment. Without feeling any attachment, tell me how to be inert, without all your given senses, sensitivity, and thoughts. Is it what you wish to win over, walking beyond the senses? Then why at all you have created, your creation included all of that? Do you think it's a faulty design? If salvation was the sole motive of a being, only soul could have managed that. Why this body was given? Couldn't you design something, an entity of soul as a whole? With the body, if work was needed to be done, why unnecessarily created the emotions? Don't you think you just complicated everything by creating all the mess? Now you wish to see us evolving? Can you sometime come down? I'm overburdened. Please help. I know you are profound. You have to settle many unresolved accounts. Without listening, you can't claim you are immensely loving. Come down and see how, with thousands of weaknesses, still we dare to dream. With unbearable pain, we merge and emerge you have ever seen. And again, we revive even most emotions of ours we trim. Again and again, we revive and survive. We continue your given life. With the help of those emotions, love and passions, which you designate as illusions, come and incarnate live here with all those limitations and enlighten us with your limitless form, and so how not to be parted with the emotions. Walk in the razor sharp line, bordering virtues and sin, now in action only, in thought and feel. How to remain clean, come down, and so how to live in. I heard you have love-filled ocean of heart. Like that, how do you maintain being loving and kind and simultaneously behave indifferent and divine? You say you remain within every being, but you are not a part of any virtue and sin. I don't understand you and what you are up to. Can you sometime get down and let me listen? Anyway, without seeing, without knowing, sometime I started loving. Sometime I started loving. Your vastness, your mystery always enchanted me. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. What are you up to? Is it a prayer or it is or is it a what you call complaint or is it something, I mean, it is so, everything he said in this poem, I was, intently and keenly listening, and every part of it is says a lot, and it's a spiritual and philosophical and the truth of life, in fact, I would say. Um, Now I would, before asking Lopamudra ma'am to recite a poem and also feedback, I would go across to Dushmant Chaudhary sir, since he's been waiting, and I think I could ask him his feedback. Dushmant Chaudhary sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what shall I tell? Shall I recite my poem or?
No. You are not here to recite. You are here to give her the feedback of what Gita ma'am has just read.
So Dr. Gitaman's poem is not a poem, but it's the song of the soul.
Exactly.
And through this poem, she has brought to the society three messages. One is utter surrender before God. Second is extreme love without seeing, without touching, without listening. And fourth is as one harbinger. God has given us the emotions and hopes for what man tries to live in the society. And behind the statement, there is also a great virtue that whatever the life may be, the fate may bring us down to the soil or uplift us to the sky, still we should live our full life. And Dr. Mahanti has wholeheartedly invited the God to come down, to live on the earth, having two influential significance in her message that perhaps she has thought that the order of the society has already been ruined, and she has invited the God to bring all this into order. Second cases, she has elaborately expressed how the human beings are toiling a lot, how the human beings are enjoying a lot, and with all this, still human beings live on the earth with the great hope of passion and love.
That's
Then,
wonderful.
through her message, she has given to the human society for the utter surrender before God. And since man does not know whether his action is sinful or virtuous, and whatever man does must surrender before God. And though the speaker here does not touch the God, does not see the God, still has great belief in God, at last hopes that God will listen the speaker's invitation and will come down to the earth to live with her. It is a very good poem, having a good message, not good three message. So I had also written a very good synopsis on her this poem. I had read it. Thank you all.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. It's such a
Thank you so much, Duswanta, for your wonderful review. I can tell you always write wonderful
I cannot
reviews
give a complete
of
review now.
positions.
So after a heavy duty in the college and with a 10 years 1 hour journey, I reached here. I could not
I know.
deliver all this. Still, I said something that 25% of your total synopsis I have written.
You said really beautifully. You said really beautifully. Thank
it's
you.
a 25. I feel like it's a 100% kind of thing, justified the whole, the poem, And now I would turn to the Lopamudra ma'am and ask and say a few words about Gita Mohanty poem, and I would also ask her to recite her poem.
Geeta ma'am, actually, the poem you have narrated your expression beautifully, and to tell you, God, तुसी नीचे तो उतरो, देखो क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे. So that's all about, and you have the questions you have really raised. It's really triggers to our mind sometimes that really God has created human beings. And what Hira Nawaz ma'am has given the gist of her poem is empathy, and your poem is the same empathy, that God has created the beautiful man as a beautiful creation, and we should follow some norms. If we are deviating from that, तुसी नीचे तो उतरो, फिर देखो क्या चल रहा है, but in all your things, what you have beautifully expressed, that we should at least follow some things to attain humanity, at least the real human form. We should go for that. And I think Jusman sir has elaborated the poem very nicely, and hats off to you, sir, for the brilliant review. And the me is, sir, ma'am, tusi niche to utro. That is the only word I can say. And
thank you so much for your wonderful way of saying it. I loved it. Yeah.
Because everything has been told by Jusman sir. What more to say? So I said, ma'am, it's very less words for you because I have given a very beautiful expression to your theme. And Kkumar, Prasanna ji, will I recite my poem now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is your turn.
So don't say me that I'm a feminist. Being a woman, we all are warrior, born warrior and fighter, fighting with mommy, daddy from the day one. And for all things we have to revolt. भाई भाई को ज्यादा दे दिया, हमको नहीं दिया, फिर we have to search words. Husband is taking the lion's share and we are not. So then started the journey with the poem inspired by great Maya Angelou.
Wow.
Still I Rise. And the name of my poem is My Wings Want to Fly. My wings want to fly. The wings of mine desire to escape from the impermeable walls of white, the green foliage, the luring blue, simmering yellow, crimson moon, dew-drenched lawn, the soft carpet grass, the shuffle voice of cuckoo. When I breathe in memory, I want to relinquish my castle, to fly high and high, where eyes can't reach and nose camera lens click, beyond the lands, a land of and love, a territory of beautiful swinging flowers, a periphery of pure air, no strange of hatred or blast, no tears, no bloodbath, only the grains of velvety, pearl of unadulterated atmosphere. At this juncture, faith and trust will lock the door share, and care will reopen the dead vault. Pleasant supposed to be the flow, a perfect destination for all in ocean travel. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Mirza sir, would you like to say something about Lopamudra Mishra? Sir, turn on your mic, sir.
Certainly, sir, it was a good, very charming piece of verse, but I could not hear it
Yeah.
as I went to drink water.
Oh, sorry. Okay, then I would ask Ganga Lakshmi Patnaik. Ma'am. Ganga Lakshmi Patnaik, ma'am. Ma'am, kindly turn on your mic. Yes. So, what do you think about Lopamudra Mishra ma'am's?
I congratulate Lopamudra madam because she is a feminist poet. She focused on feminism and she has also chosen a very good title, The Wings of a Fly. The wings. That means Lopamudra madam focused on the freedom of women. She has very carefully chosen the theme, revealing her own purpose. The poem is actually beauteous, adorable, and alluring. She conveys the meaning and communicates what the women want, what is the feeling of women, what is the gesture of women in a very beautiful languages. It is a wisdom language because she relates the experiences and observations that she found in human life and the universe around us. It actually captures and reflects the poet's emotions, how she is bothered about girls, about the flowers, about the women. Really, it is an excellent poem, and I congratulate once again Lopamudra madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganga Lakshmi madam. So nice of you for the nice review. Really, you have given birth to it.
Thank you, madam.
Exactly, ma'am. The way you presented it, I mean, summed it up. That's a beauty. I mean, I still wonder how do I haven't, that's intriguing. That's intriguing. Dushmanta Chaudhary sir, you could recite your poem.
So now I am very much thankful to the younger brother, Mr. Prasanna. And I also became very happy to be with you here. And I could not reach, I think, before 6, but it might be the invitation of Mr. Prasanna who could drag me here so that I could reach in time. Thank you, Prasanna. May God bless you. So, in every action of the God, there is a philosophy and there is a message to us. But being ignorant, we the human beings cannot understand the message of God. So that I have composed a poem today. The title is I Read the God's Mystery. I hope my listeners will be happy to listen it. The caption is I read the God's mystery. Count I the leaves that fall down. Count I the leaves that fall down. Some are dark, some are red and brown. All that is best of falling on ground. Who knows how long they were bound? Who knows how long they were bound? Play earthly games in sorrow and joy. Play earthly game in sorrow and joy. Here is up, here is down with toy. Here is up, there is down with toy. Of self deeds ever and ever spoken upon the life within heart a token. Upon the life within heart a token. Still they then in life with the breeze, muffled lips, they move to appease. Sets the dazzling globe its tear, sets the dazzling globe its tear. How cruel its rays are driving fear. How cruel its rays are driving fear. Still they flutter, twisting their heads in a dry wind, whispering their beds. In a dry wind, whispering their beds. How hard the time did not any dream. Still lick the butcher as lamps gleam. Still lick the butcher as lamps gleam. Growing and falling, ends of span, solemn each one, other glimpse known. Solemn each one, other glimpse known. One rings a bell, the other a nail. Read I the gods, mystery in a dell. Read I the gods, mystery in a dell. Thank you all.
Anybody would like to volunteer? Prasanna sir, I noticed that you are jotting down something and you are, you've been waiting to give a review. You could go ahead and turn on your mic, sir. Prasanna sir, turn on your mic, turn on your mic.
Thanks a lot, this one, sir. Really, your poem gave me much pleasure. It's an excellent and exuberant poem. It started from the yellow-brown color, which is from autumn, the sign of autumn. And you explain different colors in different seasons that I like most. You colored the different creatures, different nature. So I like it. Really, I appreciated your poem. Yeah, I felt much pleasure listening your poem.
Thank you, sir. Prasanna sir. I'm calling my name, Prasanna Kumar. Oh my goodness. Bizo, where are you?
Prasanna, can I have a word, please, on this?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'll get back to you in a while. And I think Bizo is waiting and he's a lovely buddy from Israel.
Yeah.
Bizo, Isaac Cohen. Isaac Cohen, turn on your mic. Isaac Cohen, turn on your mic. Yes.
Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yes, it's your turn, and you could.
Wait a minute. Yes, thank you, my friend Kkumar, and all my friends in the India and in the world. I read two poems. One is short and one is long.
Right.
Yes, I the poem. My tear. My tear is pretty like air stand dress, laughed to the bright light. My tear speaks beside the God, and thus you defied. This is the one, and this is the two. As a Cohen, commitment. Daniel repaired his shoes with barbed wire. Daniel looked at the sky. Bijo, the good devil, sent him a message. Learn how to write letter and get over your life. Daniel specialized in this domain. The Prime Minister appointed a Minister of Information. One day, Daniel and his entourage walked in the center of the city. Daniel looked at a poor boy with torn shoes. Daniel took off his shoes and gave them to him. The senior assistant screamed, "Why are you doing this?" Daniel answered, "Men must remember where he comes from." Thank you, Azikon, Israel. Thank you, Kkumar. And in the Saturday, we are meet again
Yeah, certainly
in
would
the Gandhi meeting.
Thank you, Bijo. You always presented a lovely poem, micro poems.
Yes,
Right.
thank you, my
Thank you,
friend.
and thank you for being here and go across Gita Mahati ma'am. And
Yes,
yeah, go Gita Mahati ma'am.
thank you.
Hi, Prasanna. Yeah, about the poetry, I was talking about Dusmanta's poetry. I just would like to add something on that. That was definitely a scenery about the fall, because he was talking about the falling of leaf. But the significance behind the composition was this life, it is like leaves. When, where, how it falls, nobody knows. And still, that life, when it falls or when it is falling or about to fall, this soul, it realizes why we were here, what we are doing, what is the purpose. And that is the consciousness, the talk of the consciousness. He was, whatever the murmuring or the whispering or the rustling of the leaves he was talking, it is nothing but what I felt, the soul, conversation of the soul about the purpose of life. Why, how they are here, what is their role, how long they would be here, where they would be gone. And all these things he very minutely he presented in the form of fallen leaves, as we also fall down, leaving this body to this ground. But the soul always immortal, and that is the consciousness that remains always alive, and that knows what we did and why we are here, all these things. So that was a very subtle composition talking about the existence of the soul in the body. That's what the fallen leaves was signified.
Very well said, man. Very well said. I hope he could have been here for with us, but then he left. I think maybe some technical bits because of technical issue. I will go across once again. I think I could call upon Binod Dawadi from Nepal. Binod, you could turn on your mic and you could say.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, Binod, you could hear you. You could just recite your poem.
Okay, I am today bringing about one poem that is titled Mind. What is mind? I don't know. Mind gives me thoughts, but there are sometimes good thoughts about becoming good men and sometimes bad thoughts about becoming bad men. Good men like Jesus Christ, Shiva and Buddha, who are enlightenment and always good men. After their death also, people remembers them by their works and from their honesty. But again, my mind thoughts negative men or bad men, like Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Paul the Emperor, and Pol Pot. But they are the bad people. Instead of that, mind wants that. Mind works as five sins of Bible that are pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, and sloth. Mind is mind. Thank you.
Wonderful. Mind is meant. And would you narrate this poem, Binod?
Yes, this poem is trying to tell us that there are many thoughts and many imaginations coming at different time. Sometimes we imagine we are a butterfly, we are a god, we are a human being, we are insects, uh, but not only beautiful things, but also there are the bad things or worst things in this world. So mind captures those things and transfer those things to us and make us the bad man, like in the I just titled Hitler, who killed many peoples in the genocide, whose heart is not good. Joseph, Khalid, Pol Pot, like that bad people. This mind is a box, and this box has many treasures. This much.
Beautiful, beautiful, Binod. And who is raising hands? Lopamudra ma'am, or Gita ma'am? I think both are raising hands. I think I could go across Lopamudra ma'am now. Lopamudra.
Very nice. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Very nice. Actually, I'll be speaking only 2 lines. Binodji is a very nice poem. As we said, that human minds revolve around 8,000 thoughts in a day, and we people believe such cheat anand. That means that our thoughts should be pure, and that's how we'll get a serenity. So we have to make our thoughts balanced, and we have to control our thoughts. All of it, the poem is very much philosophical and a questionnaire, so that we are going to ask our mind, control our mind for a proper reason to guide our path in a very righteous manner. That's what I want to say. Very nice poem and loved it, really. Now it's up to Gita ma'am for her brilliant review.
Perfect, ma'am. Perfect. Gita ma'am.
Thank you so much again for giving me that opportunity to talk. Yeah, on this poem, I just would like to say that thoughts the thoughts are our minds, and the minds are who we are. So basically, whatever your thoughts, that's your action, and that action is you yourself. So we must choose very carefully the thoughts. Very carefully, we must choose the thoughts, because that's what we are going to be. If the thoughts are good, the person is good, the act is good. So we need to be, it's not always people see how what somebody did, but it is not the action, but before that it need to be, our thoughts need to be carefully watched, because as the thoughts would be, actions would be that, and the person would be that. So that's what it is.
So
Thank
when you are watching your thoughts moving around, that becomes a meditation. That becomes meditation. So Vinod, Davadi, I hope you're listening, my buddy. And Vinod, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So what do you say? What do you? I mean, would you like to say? Thanks to Gita Mohanty ma'am and Lopamudra Mishra ma'am, how they see them beautifully,
Okay,
summarized.
thank you to Lapa Mondra and Gita Mohanty ma'am for giving such positive feedbacks and positive words towards making me a grateful poet in the future. And thank you to all.
Thank you, Vinod. Alota, Bush, and David. David, go ahead with your
Thank you so much.
on and say something about your poem before reciting.
Okay, thank you. I am Olatubo David from Nigeria, and the title of my poem, as displaying the message to everyone, is of love, life, and death. In this world, we need love to live, not only to earn love, but also to give love to people around us. Only then can this world be peaceful. And then we can see that in life today, everything that is happening due to the absence of love. All the love we are sharing is inadequate. Then the poem also talks about the reality of death. So that is all about the poem. So I start. Thirsty for love in this arid side of destiny, and parting for a fellowship that uplifts a soul from the swamp of loneliness. The earth is a terrible market where sieves of love are scarce commodities. A difficult place where loneliness kisses despair and fear furnishes needless caution. Truly, in this part of the horizon, brief should be our stays. Word of love, where everything is beautiful and radiant, marred with 8 manners. And word of peace, polluted with prejudice and violence and war. Fear fills the earth like the dust, the whirlwind, and violence like the flood with many garbage. The inventors are savior of this world, who knows no love. If life is dead, love is dead. What is love? If it is devoid of sacrifice, and the living, if not to die for a friend. Thus, a man should seek long life, but after death. Here is no better life until after death. A sojourner has but a pass into it. His labor of love in the world of vain. Thank you.
Wow, beautiful. Good, David, beautiful. Now I would go across quickly to ask Ganga Lakshmi Patnaik ma'am to recite a second poem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, David, you presented it so well. Yeah, we'll come back
The
to you
title
in
of
a
the
while.
Thank you, Prasanna. I would like to recite my second micro poem. The title is Humanity. The title of my micro poem is Humanity. Sow seeds of humanity on fallow lands to celebrate life's joviality. Sow seeds of humanity on fallow lands to celebrate life's joviality. Flutter only jasmine whiteness of smiles. Scatter your shield of kindness. Flutter only jasmine whiteness of smiles. Scatter your shield of kindness. Humanity costs no money, doesn't move, yet everywhere presents with humility. Humanity costs no money, doesn't move, yet everywhere presents with humility. It is an ability to love, to be loved, to know others. It is an ability to love, to be loved, to know others. I am describing why humanity is important. Humanity means caring for and helping others whenever and wherever possible. I am describing why humanity is important. Humanity means caring for and helping others whenever and wherever possible. It means extending unconditional love to each and every living being on earth. It means extending unconditional love to each and every living being on earth. Now the presentation of my second micro poem is over. My thanks to all of you.
Indeed, it's very true, ma'am. It's love and being loved. And it's not the cup of everyone. I mean, it's the humanity. But then those who have having, they're, I mean, they're filled with humanity. I would definitely say it. That now I would go across here, Prasanna Bhatt sir, to present his second poem. So turn on your mic.
According
Prasanna Bhatt sir, kindly raise your volume. I think your mic is on, but we could not hear you. That's okay.
Right. In the sky, miners and eagles
Prasanna
soar
Bhatt sir,
and make heady flight, leaving below the
kindly turn on your mic and
from their penurious plight.
okay, I could go across Hira Nawaz ma'am to recite her poem.
Okay, I will recite my poem. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay. This is my second poem. It's quite a dichotomy from my first poem, which was about kindness. This is about nature. I've always been fond of nature. I would love to go to the countryside and see the beautiful mountains and rivers, lakes, the flowers, the trees. And I was inspired by just looking up at the sky and seeing the beautiful clouds. So I wrote this poem, which is called Clouds. And I hope it has an impact on you because I put a lot of effort in writing it. I hope it has a message. In the awesomely beautiful sky are clouds of creamy white, heralding across the heavenly horizon a day so splendidly bright. In the sky, the miners and eagles soar, glide, and make airy flight, leaving below the humans surviving from the penurious plight. Indeed, the fluffy balls of cotton jostle, making for a myriad forms, while they play mischievous games of hide and seek with the sun, each trying to make the most of summer while avoiding storms, knowing that below this ambience, the children are having fun. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Indeed, what a beautiful poetic expression. I mean,
Yeah, thank you so much.
ma'am, you could just wait for a while to hear beautiful review from Lopamudra ma'am, Geeta ma'am, Mirja ma'am, and I know they are, holding their, everything emotion. So I would not ask them now to give the review. Now I would go across right to Mirza Siptanbeg sir, and sir, you could recite your second poem, and you would give a review of your on Hira Nawaz ma'am's poem as well.
Well, so thank you very much for inviting me again to recite my second poem. Hira Nawaz ma'am is certainly Hira, and whatever she puts before us is certainly a Hira. And it is a good poem woven around nature. And she presents a very, you can say, picturesque, pictorial, and panoramic view of clouds. Certainly it was a very beautiful poem by her. Now I am going to recite my another poem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Always. Yeah. The title of my second poem is The Farmer.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you.
Hope you will all like it. Though I have written about 200 poems, but I still don't consider myself as a poet. The poem is, and I write poems in stanzas, and each stanza comprises 4 lines. The first stanza is, and it is described in scriptures that God has classified humans in professions. And because all people cannot be the doctors, and all people cannot be engineers, all people cannot be professors. So God has distributed professions among people so that the society can function well. My first stanza is, God classified humans on Crimson Charter. God classified humans on Crimson Charter, placed at Parnassus the name of the farmer, sweats pearls to enrich soil. This agro emperor toils from dawn to dusk to feed and foster. The second stanza is, sows seeds of hope in spring, waiting October. Sows seeds of hope in spring, waiting October. Harvest dances to the tunes of breeze bower. Sift soil to bring smiles on faces of every creature. Sees towards sky to shield his labor in every prayer. The next stanza is, hoes, harrows, plows, plants with toil, umber, procures food for all in lavender of his labor, feeds birds, livestock, mows with caterpillar, fruits of his facts leverage at mercy of weather. The next stanza is, spends day at fields, returns weary to look after, big family to till and care, obligation to nurture. All dreams shatter when weather plays monster, slips into the valley of penury, while landlords prosper. The next stanza is, poor but rich enough to feed, rich with cheer. Poor but rich enough to feed, rich with cheer, brings a smile on all faces, festooned with fear. Heart a river of benevolence, rivets to bear, slings of fortunes flashing with fortitude sheer. The next stanza, last stanza it is, swells fingers in traces of earth to get gold of labor. Gluttonous big boat of world propels like skilled sailor, escorts to insatiate shores, creatures living in squalor. Don't let him die in debt. Give insurance, assurance, hamper. Thank you, and thank you very much.
That's so well said. I mean, I think I could hold myself back to give you feedback, and again I put.
I think farmer anchors us to the insatiated shores like Prasanna Kumar anchors all to the novel shores.
No, it's a humbleness. In fact, I would say your humbleness is when you said that you're not a poet, and the one
You certainly, sir, conduct the program exceedingly well, and the way you manage all the things, and you manage all the people coming from diverse background in such a humble manner. It is certainly a matter of praise.
No, but then that every credit goes to you also, because without you I couldn't, without your discipline, without your cooperation, I couldn't manage these things. So everything goes to you. And now, before coming to Geeta Mawati ma'am, Dr. Madra ma'am, I would go across once again, David. David. David, you could turn on your mic and present your second point.
Thank you. The title of my second poem is She Needs a Smile. And this poem is born out of the fact that a lot of people are lonely in life. And a lot of people has actually died in loneliness. Loneliness itself doesn't kill, but it is what people are passing through in their loneliness that people around them did not know about. That is what is actually killing. But if you can also show love, if you show concern towards people around us, especially the orphans, they too will have the feelings of love, that they are loved in this world. So the title is She Needs a Smile. She needs a smile, not us. And another voice, soothing, to share the lonely one, whispering depression beneath the valley of her free soul. She needs other ear attentive, giving attention to the pain eating up her heart like a cankerworm, and a heart caring and ready to absorb the overwhelming body, crushing her weary and helpless soul. She's lovelorn, drunk, and ready to fall. Drunk she is with mixed wine of loneliness and depression. She is burdened with the heavy weight of life's predicaments and harshness. She is weary and hungry now. Needs manner of love to quench her hunger. Needs the warm hand of care, a leafy tree, giving cover in the heat and harshness of the crescent, an ignition for a fresh fire of hope and a taste of better life. She surrounds us in the orphanage, in every street, a waif. Far and wide she roams in the shadow of isolation and neglect. We've been careless to notice her. Thank you.
Beautiful, David, beautiful. But again, you presented a profound, I mean, it's a wonderful poem. Prasanna, but sir, are you ready to recite your second poem? Sir, your mic is on and your video is on, but then again we are I'm unable to hear you. I mean your voice. Oh, I think you should log out and log in, sir, once again, so that you could. I'll get back to you. Yes. Now I would go across. I would call upon Lopamudra ma'am to summarize the poem that is being recited by Hira ma'am, Mirza ma'am, Bino, David, and whatever they have.
Yeah.
And you could read your second poem as well.
Thank you, Kumar Prasannaji. The poem, or the poems actually being with all this happiness and four stanzas by Mirchaji and everything. First, let me finish up my thing. Kumarji, would you like to have a cup of tea?
Yes,
Evening cup of tea?
certainly, I would.
इतने ज़्यादा भारी हो गए some अभी because all the thoughts are being just with all heavy philosophic thoughts of poetry. I just want to cherish with the evening tea, virtual tea. हो जाए तब. The name of my poem is A Cup of Tea. Okay, an evening cup of tea from Pain Wonders International, and cheers to Pramod Gangadharan sir for that, and
Yes,
for you first, Kumar Prasanna sir. And now begins the poem thus. The cup of tea. The cup of tea is very well acquainted with its properties, intoxicating and sweetening, familiarizing, and the powerful bonding. Once addicted, that tendency is demanding. Every morning and evening, you greet me with a cup of tea. The moment used to be ours, we forget the string of time and gossip, cracking jokes, exchanging biscuits and smile. Kya baat? We share words, flip thoughts, converse about us regarding our dreams, some fruitful and unfruitful tree, some submissive aspiration, some prospective vision, requirement of tea, and never-ending words linger along with earning is a sign of our relinquished blending. We glue to our watch for the secluded time. Our instinct is conscious of the stipulating urge because the cup of tea has taught its lot to wait, to bait, to get addicted to its beverage. Now, before going to the next stanza, I'm coming to Mirza's words that he's not a poet, but poetic is his gene. Yes. So he is poetic by nature. It flows in his blood. So poetry has to come. So who is not a poet? God has created thus. Now begins the second stanza. Cup of tea. I miss you in wee hours because you are special and transcendental. The rejuvenating spirit, so I confess, is not lark. Instantaneously, your fragrance freshens my day. Strokes of smoke thrills my cleavage. Your tingling aroma lifts my mood, revives me and the time in your unique sway. The cup of positive tea, cheering the chasseurs and sharing glee, along with some actions of everyday act, some pent-up phrases and idioms with the consolation tap, some lines of encouragement, some appreciation mixed with adoration, and dedicated place to one another for the cup of tea, which innocently creates the optimistic sensations which rebounds in my rhapsodic perfection. Thank you.
Wow, I love the interlude. You know, you recited a poem and you went back to.
Actually, everything starts with a tea. You know, all the sympathy, the cloud, everything we talk during the tea time is the whole thing or the creative thoughts usually crops up. Chai ke bina to din shuru hi nahi hoti. So that's it, and thank you so much for giving
but I love the fact that the interlude, you know, you read your words and you went back to sir and you presented it and you explained the poetry and in your poetry name and you came back. again. That's a wonderful way of, recitation or expression or whatever it is called. That's one way of, yeah, attracting and enticing the poets. In fact, I would say
Yes.
enticing.
Thank you so much.
Mirza sir, on that note, Mirza sir, congratulations. You got a wonderful review from a lovely lady.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The way Lopamudra Mishra ma'am has presented a poem certainly has touched the chords of my heart and of everyone present here. And the way she presents, it seems that I must start reading out the poetry in the same vein, with the same rhythm that she is presenting here. Certainly, she needs acclaim.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
So that's the beauty, sir. That is the thing. And this is a kind of beautiful evening. I think, ma'am, you were saying that it is a spiritual indulgence, spiritual overwhelming. But then the last week, if you would have, present, it went along in 2.5 hours. It's completely imbibed in
Engrossing.
yes, engrossed in the kind of spiritual outpouring and the
1 minute,
words,
Kkumar Prasannaji. And the most basic thing is all because of the host. And when the host is so very captivating, so the host so has
oh my God. So backlashing. This is called.
Big applause for you also. Big applause from my
Backlashing.
side for the host itself.
This is
Lively host. Yeah.
This is backlashing. Oh my God.
You have to have a lively host for this evening, because poetry mein to masale ke tadka hone chahiye. Hai ki nahi?
Wow. So on that lovely note, I would ask Prasanna Bhatt sir to kindly come again and recite his second poem. Prasanna Bhatt sir, you are very much with us, and kindly turn on your mic and video as well. Prasanna Bhatt sir. Prasanna Bhatt sir. Prasanna Bhatt sir, I think still he is facing trouble with the technical issue, I think. So Prasanna Bhatt sir, you could hold your this mobile close to your face or close to your mouth, and you could just unplug your mic. You could just try something like that. And you could unplug your this headphone. So I'm afraid. Sorry, I couldn't. Sorry, sir. I can't hear you. Again, you should try logging here, log out, and log in. And I'm absolutely sorry for that interruption. Now we have a new member all the way from North America. And she is a well-known writer. She is a very active poet, professor in English. And she is none other than Anita Nahalma. Anita Nahalma.
Hello, how are you?
We welcome you to this poetic, Pen Wonders poetic evening, and it would be kind if you would turn on your video.
My video, actually, I'm in the middle of something, so my video I'll not be able to turn on, but I'm here listening to all of you.
Okay.
And yes, absolutely.
And if possible, and you could just recite your poem, because we are almost reaching towards the end of the session, and it is our a pleasure having you. So if you could kindly present your small poem of whatever you could say something about poetry or yourself, whatever you feel like.
Sure, I will. I am just trying. When I logged on, I was also updating my computer, and so if you give me just a couple of minutes, I will be able. My computer is coming back on, and then I will certainly read. Would love to read a new poem which I wrote actually yesterday.
Yeah, sure. So be with us. Before that, I would, without wasting much of time, I would go across to, yes, what would I say? Geeta Ji, who is left? And she's the one who is going to sum up all the poets' verses and their, outpouring, whatever their thing. And she was going to present a lovely poem. I'm sure the second poem is always, leave you wondering. And whether she is a poet or she's a philosopher, spiritual preacher, or whatever. I'm so confused.
Thank you so much, dear Prasanna, talking so high always about. But I expressed my wish that we always skip you. I mean, we all of us would like to hear one of your composition, please. I mean, at least you recite one composition here.
I think it will go off record, not on record.
No, don't do that, please. I mean, we would also like to hear you. So maybe I would skip mine, second one, but you recite one if the time is a constraint.
No. Time is there, absolutely is there with us, whole lots of time, and yes, Anita Nehal ma'am is also there to recite, and Prasanna Bhatt is also there, so you could just go ahead.
Okay, so this is, I won't take much time. This is a small composition. Let me take an attempt on the romantic aspect where I'm not at all good, I know. Let me just try. So the title of my composition is Intensity of Love. Drawn a line on water, using water, that line may be invisible, but still it is there. Ask to the water. It would tell the memory of my touch was how much sear, intensely drenched and clear, just like water. Drawn a portrait on a canvas of ether, using my breath as paintbrush. It may be imperceptible, still it is preserved there. Ask to the ether. It would show the fragrance of my breath's signature. Uniquely unique was that gesture. I loved with all my love to my love, with the ocean of emotions concentrated to a drop. Ask to my love. He would tell the way the unseen boundaries of our love got dissolved, how much was mine and how much was his. Even he can't tell it for sure. When love is so intense and pure, any estimate about it becomes unsure. Thank you so much.
Wow. That goes without saying that you are indeed a romantic poet, but you never, agree the fact of that, isn't it Lopamudra ma'am?
Yeah.
So who's left? I think Prasanna Bhatt sir is there very much with us, and let's try again. Prasanna Bhatt sir, he is gone speaking, and you cannot.
I'm also ready whenever you are.
And now you could study your.
But I do agree with the poetess who just spoke that it'd be nice to hear.
Geeta Mohanty ma'am. She is from, she is an assistant professor from US as well. I mean, I think, I don't know the town name, but yeah.
Well, I wanted to congratulate her on her poem. I really enjoyed listening to her poem. It was very nice.
Thank you so much. I'm here in South Carolina. We may have chit chat later on, maybe.
Sure. We live in New Jersey right now. Yes, we might be moving, but we are in New Jersey, and I teach at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C.
Okay, it's not far away from.
Yeah, not far away from you. So thank you for that lovely poem about love.
Thank you so much.
So now you could hold the mic and you could spout out, ma'am.
Sure. Sure. And you can hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, ma'am, very clear.
Okay. So I wrote this poem just this morning, actually. It's on a prompt, and it's not, my third book just came out recently. It's called What's Wrong with Us Kali Women. That book came out in August, but this poem that I wrote this morning is part of another book that I'm writing, my fourth book. And this is based on an image. So it's an acrophistic poem. And I'll just tell you what the image is. The image is a key, a very rusted key hanging on a small thread. And the colors in the image are blue and red. So that's what the poem is based on. Okay. The poem is called To Be or Not to Be. Of course, the credit for the title is Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. With my voluminous espresso tresses blowing in the wind, I scurried up the hill to whence fraternal twins Alaknanda and Bhagirthi merged in Devprayag, India, and a confluence of breaths fused into a rusted antediluvian timeless key dangling from your fingers like changelings from Star Trek, or donated by Salvador Dali from the spidery elephant in his painting, begging me to hold on to the key. It was my last chance to be. Or not, I whispered, as the red and blue waters spiraled into a whirlpool, the key dangling cluelessly. No roads could be seen, no sustenance or wine soothed me, nor love was close by. I was alone with you, in you, of you, by you, except for Shakespeare, who came cycling down the hill, embracing a flying carpet, shrieking madly, with his shrew chasing behind. To be or not to be, to be or not to be. As I struggled with my response, daytime shrugged and shook its head in displeasure, while night lights grudgingly came on. The dismal ancestral warnings seemed to be maids and butlers in waiting, watching me, eyes agape, jaws even more, as I hesitated to pull the key from you. But then a phoenix nudged me on, as finally my aching fears reduced to ash, and your fingers collapsed, your hands closed, and you slid into comforting sleep as I finally came to be. Thank you.
Prasanna, your mic is muted.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. His mic is muted.
Sorry, ma'am. Before before coming back to you, I would ask Prasanna, but sir, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Thanks, Prasanji. Thanks, Prasanji.
Yeah.
I'm going to recite the second poem.
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Kindly recite your second poem. Yeah.
Really, it is my first poem. I wrote the poem 3 months back, but can't give caption. So I gave the title, "Oh Poets, Give a Caption to My Poem." Still, I am in confusion what will be the caption. So I request to all the poets, listen the poem and give a caption.
Certainly, they would, sir. Kindly go ahead.
I'm going to recite my second poem. I know nothing what you are, who you are, what you are, who you are, and where you are from. But I know you don't make others measure and determine. You don't make others measure and determine the depth of your gain. The depth of your gain. Don't show the depth of your pain. Don't show the depth of your pain. You are not just pretty and dainty, jolly and jolty. You are not just pretty and dainty, jolly and jolty. You are more than just a flavor and savor. Sometimes it is hard for me to show that you are blessed with just a body. Sometimes it is hard for me to show that you are blessed with just a body. Sometimes you are broke and broke. Sometimes you are broke and broke, shaky and shaky. Sometimes you are lovely and loyal. Sometimes you are lovely and loyal, bliss and bless. Sometimes you are lovely and loyal, bliss and bless. Sometimes nothing. Sometimes nothing. I don't let it show. But I have been in your affection and affirmation. But I have been in your affection and affirmation, a deep in your view and beauty, a deep in your view and beauty, a bath in self-possessed word and what, a bath in self-possessed word and what, a drink in your sparkling weeds and wisdom. You are inspiration and inhalation. You are inspiration and inhalation. You are destruction and annihilation. You are love and light. You are cruel and fuel. Oh my God, what you are all in all. You are all in all. You are above all in life, in life. You are above all in life. You are above all in life. Oh, ye poets, give a caption to my poem. Thanks all. My presentation is over. I'm going to complete my poem. Thanks to all.
That's really wonderful poem, sir. With it, I think we reached to the end of the, very much at the end of the session. Before concluding the session, I would request all the poets present here to share or to express, in fact, they would give their review on Prasanna Bhatt sir's or Anita Nahar ma'am's, or she could sum up the entire poetic.
Really,
Okay.
Shah Prashanji, so to say, review this poem, I can't give name to this poem.
Right, sir.
Really, it may go to a lady, it may go to nature, it may go to she, it may go to God. I can't give a caption to this poem if a poet distinctly give a caption.
Right, sir. Right, sir. I thank you for that. Now I will request all the honorable members here to kindly unmute their mic and pour out your thing, and so that we can conclude this evening with a beautiful end note. Shall I call upon, or you could go ahead, take your mic?
just request, why don't you recite a small poem, Prasanna?
Yeah, I would certainly request. I mean, I would certainly recite. And before that, you could just talk about Anita ma'am and Prasanna Varsa's poem, and you could say something about this poetic event. Over to you all.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for all the efforts you make in bringing, writers from across the world together on your platform. You serve others in the process. You serve their creative, outpourings, to say. So I think you're really doing a wonderful task, and I appreciate it, and I bless you for all your hard work in this direction.
Thank you for
Prasanna is always an amazing anchor. I mean, everybody appreciates him. He's so humble and so down to earth and mingles like such a, friendly way. He never, have that esteem of being a host ever. So that's the greatness of Prasanna, I must say. Thank you, Prasanna, for hosting, and thank you for such wonderful session, having all the poets from across the world. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
I agree with you, Geeta ma'am. 3 cheers to Prasanna ji because of beautiful host and memorable evening. And it's a pleasure and really delightful evening to enjoy all the poets, all the esteemed poets gathered over here today. And thank you, Pramod Gangadharan sir, for the beautiful platform and for the beautiful host itself to make others actually, without reciting his own poem, he could able to make us recite 2 of our poems. So it's our request from all of us. We would like to hear you today now.
Yes.
Sure. Gangalakshmi ma'am.
I mention my sincere sense of lovingness to all the eminent poets from far and wide present here. My hearty thanks to all of them, to all the poets because of whom we made this evening meet possible. I would like to thank Pramod ji, founder admin of Pen Wonders International, without whom we would not have done the evening poetry meet. Lastly, I would like to thank the prolific poet, torch bearer of this event, Mr. K. Prasanna, for his coordination to make this poetry meet a grand success. Thanks to all of you. Thanks, one.
Thank you.
Well, certainly I want to thank all of you to have a good interaction with one another. And I also want to congratulate Mr. Gangadharan, Pramod Gangadharan, for inventing such kind of platform which could converge all the poets from diverse backgrounds, from diverse places at one platform. And I want to say about Mr. Prasanna Kkumar, he is the rare blend of reserve and humor. The way he conducts the program in a very humorous way, and you can say creating humor, certainly he deserves praise. And I also want to congratulate him for creating such a platform or conducting so well the program. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Prasanna sir.
I want to dedicate a couplet to Mr. Prasanna Kkumar in Urdu, if you allow me here. I want to dedicate a couplet
sir,
to you.
Go ahead, sir.
चांद भी हैरान और दरिया भी परेशानी में है. चांद भी हैरान और दरिया भी परेशानी में है. ये अक्स किसका है कि इतनी रोशनी पानी में है.
ये तो कवि की शायरी हो गई. क्या बात.
Thank you very much.
Now I would request Prasanna, please recite your poem.
Yeah, and so Prasanna sir, Prasanna is there, and he wanted to say. Anyway, I would. Ji. And Hiran ma'am, would you like to say something? Okay. Okay, I would conclude this evening by expressing my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to you all for making this evening wonderful with your spirit, poetic fervor and poetic thing, poetic verses and everything. And it's indeed a learning experience for me and other poets as well, to share their feelings, to share their emotions, to share the, the kind of review to hear from others. So it's a kind of platform that is something that goes as an informal thing, but it's a poetic kind of discussion, something like that. So it's a kind of thing, not a regular way. I once again thank you one and all for making this evening beautiful and honoring my request and coming and reciting and saying few words about the other poems. And I appreciate you so from the bottom of my heart. And I look forward to meet you all in the coming sessions, and I'll be personally in touch with you all. And now I would thanks once again from to all of you for making this beautiful evening beautiful on behalf of Pen Wonders, the entire team of Pen Wonders.